new concepts, new ways of being, when we take on new endeavors, when we try and change in any way, shape, or form. And I learned this lesson, or relearned this lesson most recently, from my own personal choice to try and upgrade something as simple as going from a little backpack that I wear when I'm cycling around the city to a Pannier, which is, if people don't know, because I didn't know what the hell fucking Pannier was a year ago, but a Pannier is a bag that clips onto a bike rack and it sits there safely. They're often waterproof, and they often means that they give you some more freedom with your body, and so you don't have to carry the weight, and you can carry a lot. People can actually go touring and go on vacations on bikes when they have their racks set up with good panniers. So anyway, yeah, I had an experience recently where this simple upgrade from a backpack to a cycling pannier actually reminded me of one of the most important lessons that we need to remember when it comes to creating growth and change in our life. So the lesson goes somewhat like this, and then I want to tell the story behind it to make the relationship make connection here. So a consumer will try something new, feel the discomfort of it, feel the uncertainty of it, get caught up with the feeling of being a beginner in the learning process, and they'll go right back to the old comfortable way, which, by the way, is a way that they're trying to move beyond, move past, or they're trying to grow out of. A creator remembers that upgrading is always uncomfortable, that learning something new is always challenging. We always feel silly, stupid, or awkward during it, and then it feels like it's not working. And our brain, which is designed for negativity bias and cognitive bias, will always look for ways and reasons to go back to what it knows, which is safe, but most likely is a uncomfortable comfort. Creator remembers that and is patient through the discomfort. I don't want to say pushes, but is patient through the discomfort, withstands it, withholds it, remembers how resilient they are, gets creative and figures out solutions. And here's the story, right? And here's how it relates. So I've been cycling for about almost a year now. Well, I got on a bike about a year ago for the first time. I was terrible. I was awkward. I borrowed a friend's bike. I avoided it for months. I started cycling last summer, where I really started enjoying it. Then I bought myself a bike, etc. So I've been biking around with backpacks on. Backpacks to go to the gym, backpacks to go little runs in the store, backpack when I was going to a meeting or whatever it is, a business meeting. And what happened is, if there was a slight drizzle or it was raining a little bit, like, I was shit out of luck, right? Because the backpack's not waterproof. I was trying to put things like, my raincoat over my backpack on top of me as well too. Additionally, if I had something of more substance or size, and I had to take my big old high school backpack that I still have, which is kind of crazy, and I never really use it except for longer day hikes and things like that, the thing sucks. It's not fun. It doesn't look good. It's big. It's annoying. And so I've been wanting to upgrade. And so I upgraded to a Pannier, an Ortli Pannier, which is a German engineered cycling bag. And I got this beautiful, gorgeous bag. It's one of the ones that they made for urban commuters. It's got this beautiful waterproof, gray finish. It's classy, it's stylish. It can carry actually about 6 liters more, maybe 7 liters more than my backpack. So it's about a third bigger. It's waterproof. It doesn't need to go on my back, and it's much better looking than my backpack. Like, I could walk in with a suit into a business meeting, not that I even own a suit, but I could walk into a business meeting, I could walk into a place where I want to look stylish, I want to look good, and this thing looks sharp, and it carries more, and it's waterproof, and it takes weight off my back. So here's how it went when I first started using this about a week ago. First thing was, I didn't know how to adjust it properly. I didn't know how to adjust the hooks so it slides into a certain position on the bike rack. And so the first time I got on it, I was pedaling and my left foot kept hitting it as I was pedaling. And I was like, man, this thing sucks. It's too wide, right? Because I'd seen other people's panniers, which are actually deeper and less wide. I'm like, it's too wide. No wonder this guy was selling it used, because I bought it used for like half price, even though it's in brand new condition. Like, no wonder this guy didn't use it, right? Of course, this thing's designed crappily. It's designed so that you keep hitting your foot against it. So that was the first thing. I got all negative and I thought it wasn't going to work. I looked for reasons, unconsciously, to go back to the less stylish, less comfortable, less waterproof, less voluminous, more burdensome experience. Okay? Then Figured out how to adjust it on the rack so I didn't kick it anymore. And then here's what happened the next time I used it. I used it several times last Friday to make several trips around the city. And this interesting thing kept happening. I'm no longer burdened. There's nothing on my back. I'm not longer carrying weight on my own back. I'm not sweating on shoulder straps, right? Where shoulder straps are. And this feeling of being unburdened is new and uncomfortable. I keep thinking, like, where's my backpack? Then I keep thinking, like, oh shit, I forgot my computer, or I forgot the things I needed. I must have left my bag at home. And then when I remember I've got this Pannier now, I keep looking down because part of me doesn't trust that it's not going to fall off. I haven't used this thing before. It's got a great system that latches on and it hooks in, and you actually have to pull it up for it to fall off. It can't really fall off. There's really no way unless I were to pull it up by the handle. But I keep thinking, well, this thing keeps falling off. So I keep having to check it. And then I remember, oh yeah, it's right here. So I'm noticing at the same time, I can move my back and my body more easily. There's not some big weight on my back. I'm able to carry more without being burdened. And as I'm noticing this freedom, this liberation in my body, this more ease with which I can move through the city, and this ease with which I am on the bike, I keep going back to these fears. Oh wait, there's something missing. Oh wait, this thing's going to fall off. Oh wait, am I going to kick it again? Maybe this thing isn't waterproof. All these fears and negative thoughts. I keep looking for ways to go back to the uncomfortable, more burdensome, less valuable, less stylish, less voluminous, less beneficial way. My mind keeps looking for how I can retreat to the old way of being. I'm uncertain, I'm uncomfortable, there's a learning curve, and something as simple as this. And like I said, I keep looking for reasons why it's not going to work. Now the same goes for any sort of change that we want to make. Let's say you want to change your diet. You say, I'm not going to eat sugar for the next month or so. We keep noticing the moments where it's uncomfortable to not eat sugar. Now, not eating sugar for a month, depending on your plan, depending on your diet, depending on your life, that may be an upgrade. It may take you to a much better place. It may help you be healthier, have more energy, trim you down. But what you're going to notice is all the moments where everyone else gets to eat the cookie, everyone else gets to eat the candy, everyone else gets to eat the ice cream, and you have to find willpower and say no. Now, maybe you were also getting energy from sugar, and now you're no longer getting that quick energy burst, so you think that you're more tired. Maybe what you want to do is start going to the gym. Well, guess what? When we first start going to the gym, we don't know the exercises. There's a learning curve. We think we look stupid to the other people that are really good already, or we start a new class and we don't actually know all the skill sets and the other people are stronger than us. And we don't like waking up early and going through the cold out to the gym, etc. There's all these reasons. There's all these new things, these new levels of minor discomfort to get us to a stronger, more resilient, more empowered body. But there's a million new ways that we feel and a million new little actions. And all of these are opportunities to persist and be patient through the discomfort and the not knowing in the beginner's mind, or to go back to the old way, to go back to sleeping in, to not exercising, to eating the sugar. Another example would be with a client that I'm working with. We're about 2 months in, and we're working hard on him learning how to apply himself more regularly to the goals that he has in his life. He has businesses he wants to create. He wants to create his family projects he's working on. He's got this opportunity to go back to school, and he wants to start applying for school. There's other things he wants to do, but there's also relationship stuff that he wants to work on and work through. He's been with his girlfriend for about a year, and he really appreciates her, he really loves her and likes her and thinks she's great, but he's noticing old patterns show up in the way he relates. So we're unpacking this deep work around his give and receive capacity. How he actually loves to anticipate people's needs, and how he then expects other people to anticipate his needs and his wants. And what that often means is he's often efforting to try and do things for other people, and part of the time he meets their needs, and part of the time he's just doing stuff that makes him feel better, that the other person hasn't consented to, doesn't really necessarily want, and he's giving something that doesn't really have value, and then he feels resentment when he's not appreciated for it. Additionally, within this whole container of give and receive, which a lot of us have challenges with this energy, this way of being, which is so vital to relationship, because relationships, they need a lot of give and receive. They don't need give and take. They don't need transaction. They don't need tit for tat. They don't need scorekeeping energy, but they do need two parties to be good at giving and good at receiving. And very often we're overexpressed in the muscle of one or the other, or we have some toxic attachment to transactionality, right? But that's a whole nother fucking story. So anyway, his practice right now is to actually ask people for what they want rather than just anticipating needs. The other practice I'm challenging him with is for asking for his needs to be met. So with his girlfriend, he notices that his love language, physical touch, isn't necessarily hers. So I challenged him. I said, check it out. On more than one occasion, I want you to ask for physical touch. So what's happening is in both of these scenarios, he's really uncomfortable. It feels awkward. He starts to believe like, well, people should just know what I want, right? People should just know what I want and figure me out. And of course, when I confront him with this reality played back to him, he realizes the silliness of it. He realizes the immaturity of it. He realizes the fallacy. He realizes that of course it's his job to take responsibility to get his needs met. And of course it's his job to become vulnerable enough to ask for those needs to be met. Now we strategize and we talk about how it doesn't mean that you have to ask for physical touch all the time, in every moment, several times a day, but to have courageous conversations to address the desire and the need and hope that the other person then takes the opportunity that you've given them and runs with it, right? Hope they get the feedback, they get the information, and they start providing. They start giving in a way that feels right. But point is, he feels really uncomfortable doing it. And so he has a choice. He can either go back to what he used to do, which is this weird attachment to giving and receiving and anticipating people's needs and expecting other people to figure him out and expecting other people to be appreciative when he goes out of his way to do something for them that doesn't really benefit them or isn't a value to them, right? And so he's learning to ask, hey, is this something that you value? Is this something that I can do for you? Or I'm telling a story that you'd like X. Is that true? He's learning to take on a more consent-based co-creation model for relationship. He's learning to speak up and ask for his needs to be met directly instead of trying to hint and hope and intuit and do, hoping that people reciprocate. He's learning to be healthier, more empowered, more loving, more creative in relationship. But every bit of him wants to go back to the old way. Every bit of him wants to go back to the belief and the actions that follow that belief and the behaviors that follow that belief, which say, I shouldn't have to ask for what I want. People should just figure me out. Every bit of him wants to go back to the way where he just anticipates people's needs and do for them, right? Same comes up for clients I'm working with where they're a business leader and they get feedback that they take up too much space in the meeting and that people don't know how to be creative in their business unit because they're often solving all the problems. Same goes with them when I'm working with clients in their professional life. And it comes to the point where they have to learn to listen more, they have to learn to ask for other people to provide solutions, where they have to start to delegate rather than take everything on and do all the problem solving and putting out all the fires. When it comes to trusting other people more, when it comes to practicing new ways of being in our love life, in the bedroom, we are looking to upgrade, but upgrading always feels uncomfortable. There isn't some magic pill where all of a sudden we get better outcomes in our life. We get better results with our health. We get more love and connection in our relationships and our social lives, where we all of a sudden we perform better professionally and we create more income in our lives, or we start following a more mission-centered path. Or we create time and space in our life for things like volunteer work. Nothing where we're upgrading ever feels comfortable at first. We will be hit with negativity bias and confirmation bias that wants to pull us back to the old way of being. We'll be hit with the discomfort of beginner's mind. We'll be hit with even just the discomfort of feeling unburdened in ways and liberated in ways we never have. But we're used to feeling the strain, the pressure, the oppression, the binding, if you will, of having the backpack on our back and sweating through the backpack, rather than letting the bike rack do the work and having the pannier be held up, waterproof, bigger, more stylish, and more powerful. So that's what I got for you today. Just for today, I want to ask you to do this. If you started a new habit, a new routine, if you're trying to communicate in a new way, if you've stepped into a new exercise routine, or you're trying to start meditating, just for today, I want you to actually welcome the discomfort of growth. Welcome the discomfort of upgrading. When you say things like, ugh, I'm missing X or Y, or I wish I didn't have to do this, or you're feeling that discomfort, just simply say, I'm upgrading. When you're feeling pain, struggle, or challenge, but you know it's because you're trying on a new thing or you're doing something new to get to a better place in life, I want you to simply say, I'm upgrading. When you screw up, when you try and communicate a new way to your partner, your wife, your husband, your business partner, and it doesn't land well and you make a mistake, I want you to say, there I go trying to upgrade, right? Upgrading, improving, growing, it includes discomfort, it includes uncertainty, it includes being a beginner, it includes failure, it includes all those things. I want you to remember that, because Creator remembers it, and they're patient through the discomfort, the uncertainty, the failure, the missteps, and they get creative to find new solutions to continue to grow. A consumer says it's too hard. A consumer says I'm not getting the results right away. A consumer tries things a couple times and says it's not working. And a consumer will go back to the discomfort they know, rather than striving to grow and take on new capacities, skills, new ways of being. I'm ranting. I just hit 17 minutes. It's lunchtime. Peace. I hope this was helpful. If it is, drop a comment. See you tomorrow.